Hello, I'm Spencer Hinkle and welcome to my backyard on the beautiful Gulf Coast of Florida, where seafood and fresh ingredients come together in Spencer's Kitchen. Today I'm joined by Dale Sanders, lifestyle and travel editor of Luxbeat magazine, who will be filming this episode. So let's get in the kitchen and start cooking. Well, greetings and welcome to my kitchen. I'm Spencer Hinkle, and today's dish is one that I've been waiting for all year. It's sea scallops with pappardelle noodles, chanterelle mushrooms, and truffle oil. Now, chanterelle mushrooms typically go on sale in like mid-November, and then only for a very short period of time. They're more expensive than your garden variety mushrooms, but oh man, they are so worth it. Chanterelles they're a real delicacy. They can't be grown commercially. They have a rather short season, growing season, from like September to February out west, and they have a very specific habitat that they like. They like growing around pine, oak, and birch trees. And since they aren't grown commercially, they're hunted in forests all over the world. Chanterelle hunters are very protective of their hunting grounds, and poachers can get themselves into a lot of trouble if found in someone else's territory. Now, I'm also going to include trumpet mushrooms, which have a meaty texture, kind of like calamari or like scallops, which make it perfect for this dish. Another key ingredient is white truffle oil. Now, truffles are fungi that live mostly underground and have a symbiotic relationship with trees. The truffles supply water to the roots of the tree, and the tree supplies sugar to the truffles. Now, because all but a small portion of the truffle lives underground, they are extremely difficult to find. In fact, they train dogs to sniff them out. Now, to give you an idea of how rare and expensive truffles are, 1 ounce of white truffles on the Williams-Sonoma website costs $399. That's 1 ounce, that's like 2, maybe 3 little truffles. Now, since that's out of the question for most of us, there's truffle oil, which is extra virgin olive oil infused with white truffle essence. Now, this bottle was about $28, but man, it's so worth it. It imparts an earthy flavor and aroma like nothing else. Now, I've adapted this recipe from one that I found on the Food Network website. It's actually a Guy Fieri recipe. It's not difficult to make, but it requires having everything ready and properly timed. It's really fun to cook this with a partner who can tend to the pasta while you cook the scallops and put the rest of the dinner together. I think you'll find this video a nice accompaniment to the written recipe. So let's get started and take a look at the ingredients. First thing I want to show you are the pappardelle noodles. We've got a couple of different varieties of them here. These are egg noodles. They're very thin, and these are really delicious. I mean, they're all delicious, but these guys are really good. And they take about 6 minutes to cook. And then you have ones that look like this. They're kind of long, and they're thick as well. If you look at it on the end grain there, you can see it's fairly thick. And these guys take about 14 minutes to cook, so it takes a little bit of time. So I'll let you refer to whatever pappardelle noodle you get, refer to the package, and they'll tell you how long it should be cooked. I'm not going to be giving you any of the quantities here. They'll all be listed on the recipe. So the next thing are our scallops, and we want to make sure that you wash these scallops extremely well. You've really got to wash them and dry them, of course. And the reason you want to wash them The main reason is to get sand out of them. You know, they live in the bottom of the sea where there's nothing but sand, and so there's always sand in them. It's really tough to get it all out, so you need to really be conscious of that, and then dry them off nicely. The other thing you want to do is remove the little abductor muscle that connects the scallop to the shell. It's kind of chewy. You don't want to have that in your dish. So there we go. We got our scallops, and then our mushrooms would be next. These are our chanterelles, and I've got the trumpet mushrooms on the bottom here. I've chopped them all up. And then the rest of the recipe is fairly simple. Olive oil, a good quality extra virgin olive oil, and of course our truffle oil. And I wanted to show you on the bottom here, can you see that? There's a little sliver of truffle right there that they give you in the bottle to help impart the flavor into the olive oil. We'll have some red pepper flakes, and we will have some garlic that's cut very thinly into slivers. This will allow them to cook and take away the bitterness of raw garlic. I've got some unsalted butter and some Parmesan cheese. Oh, it's so good. And I'll show you how I shredded up that Parmesan cheese. This is a really cool little tool that's actually a V-slitter. It slits vegetables up, and it's got a couple of little extra cutters on it that cut it into slivers. And what else? Have I left anything out? We've got pepper and we've got salt here. Oh, arugula. This is going to go in right at the end. It'll shrink down like spinach does. I'm going to get myself organized here, and we'll get started cooking the dish. I've got my skillet on here heating up, and I've got my water boiling away over there. I just wanted to make it clear that I'm not giving you the quantities because I'm making this just for myself. The recipe is for 4, so putting it together is the same. You'll have a bigger skillet than I do. In fact, this skillet is probably a little bit small for the job, but we'll try to make it work. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to put some butter in here. Turn this up a little bit. And some olive oil. And get that started melting. Now I'm going to salt my scallops before they go in. All right, beautiful. All right, here we go. Now, the scallops are going to go for about 2 minutes. And what I'm going to do is, once I've browned them on one side, I'll flip them over and let them go for maybe 45 seconds or so. And then I'm going to throw them into my toaster oven over here on warm, and just keep them warm because they're going to come back into the recipe later on. Now, like a lot of recipes, a lot of times when you're browning food like this, you want to make sure that you let don't be tempted to move these things before they're ready to be moved. When they're properly browned, they will release, and then you can flip them over. See, these guys are still kind of stuck on there. Let them go for about 2 minutes. Oh, and let me get the pasta going. There goes the pasta. I'm going to salt the water. I think I'll leave the lid off. Okay, those are going nicely. Let's see how these bad boys are doing. Turn that down a little bit. Oh yeah, they're starting to get nicely browned. That one's not ready to go yet. See, this one's not quite ready. That's the way you want them to look, just like that. Scallops, you don't want to overdo them because they will get rubbery. So you want to make sure that you don't cook them for too long. So I'm going to pull these out here in just a moment. Put them right on this little tray, and we'll just keep them warm until we're ready to deal with them again. All right. Now I'm going to let the juices here cook down a little bit. I want to try to get some of these bits off the bottom. Yeah. And now I'm going to put in the mushrooms. The mushrooms are going to cook down. You may look at the recipe and go, God, that's a lot of mushrooms. But what happens is they cook down. And I'm going to now add just a little bit more butter. We won't tell anyone. And I'm going to let these guys go for about 2 minutes. I'm going to salt them and pepper. Oh, baby. That is looking good. Beautiful. Oh, man. Those are looking so beautiful. Now it's time for the slivers of garlic. We're going to put those in. And we'll put some of these red pepper flakes in. And save some of them for the dish once it's served. If people want to add more, they can. All right, and we'll let this cook down just a little bit more. Another minute or so. Oh man, keep saying that, but this, if you could smell this, it's just fantastic. All right, now I'm going to put the scallops back in. And I'm going to put in the magic ingredient now, the truffle oil. Let me stir these up a little bit. So here's my truffle oil. I'm going to put about a tablespoon in now, and then I'm going to add a second tablespoon when I put it in the serving dish. All right. Oh man. Oh, that smell, my God. Oh, this is just beautiful. This is coming together so nicely. All right, I'm going to turn it down. I don't want to overcook this. And I'm going to go check on my noodles, see how they're doing. Still have a couple of minutes. Let's check one of these noodles out. The noodles are ready. In go the noodles, most of them. And we'll give that a nice stir. Let those noodles suck up some of that good truffle oil, olive oil flavor. Okay. All right, now I'm gonna put in the Parmesan cheese. and the arugula. Now the arugula, as I said, is it's gonna shrink down like spinach does. Again, I've got the skillet is just kind of too small for this task, but it'll work. We'll make it work. All right. Okay, now that looks like it's ready to go. I'm going to put another little dash of salt on it. Just give that another stir. And we are ready to go. Now, I made a little caprese salad for myself. That's a perfect accompaniment for a dinner like this. Get all of that out of there, all that goodness. Oh, man, oh man, oh man. Okay, let me just show you what that looks like. Isn't that beautiful? Oh, it's so good too. All right, a few more pepper flakes on top, and we want to do one more thing, and that is to drizzle a little, I'll do it up here so you can see it. We're going to drizzle a little bit more truffle oil, about another tablespoon, and mix that in. Oh yeah, wow. Okay, that's it. I am going to be having a great dinner tonight. I wish I could share it with you. I would if I could. Or as Martin Mull would say, I could if I would. That's it. I'll join you over at the eating bar here, and we'll talk a little bit more about the dish. I am here ready to eat. Got my little rose petal napkin that I learned to do on the internets, as George Bush would have said. And I'm going to open a bottle of Puy Fusé, a white burgundy. This is an excellent wine to pair with any type of seafood. Ah, there we go. All right, let's serve up some of this really good looking stuff here. Let me actually, here, I'll use my fork. Oh, this is going to be so good. Get a few scallops on there. Taste one of these scallops. Oh, absolutely delicious. I'm going to put a little bit more shaved Parmesan on there. So good. Pour some wine, and we'll have a toast. I hope you all had a nice Thanksgiving. I'll see you on the next one. Bon appetit, salud, happy days. See ya.